In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 WNBA games happening on May 21st, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 WNBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Washington Mystics versus Connecticut Sun. The Washington Mystics head into Mohegan Sun Arena to battle the Sun of Connecticut on Sunday afternoon. Both the Mystics and the Sun won their respective opening games, putting them at 1-0 apiece. The Sun won 2 out of the 3 head-to-head contests against the Mystics last season, with one of those wins coming in overtime. This should be an interesting contest, as it puts the number 1 ranked Sun defense against the number 2 ranked Mystics offense. Connecticut is only giving up 61 points per contest, while the Washington offense is putting up 80 per game. Washington is also almost 16 percentage points better at the foul line than Connecticut. The Washington Mystics looked impressive in their opener against the New York Liberty. Ariel Atkins and Natasha Cloud both went for 14 en route to a Mystics win 80-64. The win was also the first for new head coach Eric Thibault. The Lady Mystics shot 45.7% from the floor and an eye-popping 90.9% from the charity stripe. The Connecticut Sun are looking to get back to the championship after losing to the Aces last season in 4. They started with a 9-point win over the Indiana Fever, 70-61. Former Auburn Tiger Duana Bonner led the way with 19 points and 7 boards. Forward Alyssa Thomas also chipped in a double-double with 18 points and 11 rebounds. The deadly duo of Bonner and Thomas will be a force to reckon with all season. The Mystics are 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 versus Eastern Conference, and 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 games following a straight-up win. The Sun are 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 versus Eastern Conference, and 19-7 against the spread in their last 26 games overall. The over is 4-1 in Mystics' last 5 road games. The under is 5-1 in Sun last 6 overall. The Mystics are 4-0 against the spread in the last 4 meetings in Connecticut, and 4-0 against the spread in the last 4 meetings. The Mystics turned over the Liberty a whopping 22 times in their season debut. The Liberty added superstar Breena Stewart, and they were still beat by Washington on their home floor. On the other side of the coin, the Sun turned the ball over 18 times in their win over the Fever. They also only shot 31.8% in that win. The Connecticut Sun are likely going to be favored at home, and they're the more complete team on paper. However, the Washington Mystics looked great in their season opener at both ends of the floor and smoked a Liberty team with expectations. It's just one game, but you have to be encouraged by what you saw from the Mystics' first game. The Mystics remain undefeated on the season as they pick up their 2nd win, so the Washington Mystics to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Washington comes into this game after finishing with a mark of 22-14 last year. They averaged 80 points per outing on 43.9% from the field. The Mystics shot 33.8% on shots from 3-point land and 78.4% from the charity stripe. As a group, Washington snagged 34.9 rebounds per contest and totaled 729 assists throughout last year, which ranked 7th in basketball in terms of passing. They gave up possession 12.8 times per contest, and as a squad committed 15.9 fouls per game. On defense, the Mystics were able to force 13.9 turnovers per contest, and they drew 17.4 personal fouls. They were 2nd in the WNBA in allowing assists to the opposition, with 659 surrendered throughout last year. The Mystics' defense allowed a shooting percentage of 43%, and they surrendered 33.1 rebounds per game as a basketball team. They gave up 33.8% on 3-point shots, and they ranked 1st in basketball in opponents' points per game. Connecticut had a win-loss record of 25-11 last season. When it comes to executing on offense, the Sun shot 46.2% from the floor, which ranked them 2nd in the league. Connecticut scored 3,088 points over the course of last season, and they grabbed 37.1 rebounds per contest. They dished out assists 21.1 times per contest, and they coughed up possession 14.4 times per game. The Sun committed 17.1 fouls per contest while shooting 78.9% from the charity stripe. The Sun were ranked second in the league in points per game given up with 77.8. The Connecticut defense gave up 32.8% on shots from beyond the arc, and their opposition knocked down 80.4% of their free throw shots. They forced their opponents into 15.5 turnovers per game and allowed teams to shoot 43.9% from the floor. They conceded 19.3 assists and 29 total rebounds per game, which was ranked third and first in those categories. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Indiana Fever versus New York Liberty. The Indiana Fever travel to the Big Apple to take on the Liberty of New York on Sunday. Both the Fever and the Liberty dropped their respective opening games, putting them both at 0-1. The Liberty took 2 out of 3 from the Fever last season and have added a couple of key pieces to their arsenal. New York added Breena Stewart and Jonquil Jones to form a super team, although they dropped their home opener. Both of these teams play stellar defense, with the Fever ranking number 1 in field goal percentage and the Liberty ranking number 2 in rebounds per game. Their offenses, however, have been middle of the road early on in the season. The Liberty are averaging 64 points per game, while the Fever are averaging 61 points per game. The New York Liberty dropped their first game as a super team, but fans should expect some growing pains with these new pieces. Just like super teams in the NBA, it sometimes takes weeks or months for the new additions to gel cohesively. In all actuality, this team has only been practicing together for 1 week in training camp. Expect head coach Sandy Brondello to hone in on players' abilities and get the whole team rowing in the same direction. The Indiana Fever dropped their home opener to the Connecticut Sun 70-61. They only shot 33.3% from the field and 57.9% from the charity stripe in that home loss. The Fever did well to come back a little as they were down 19 points at one point. However, shooting 33.3% won't get it done against this tough New York Liberty squad. The Fever are 3-1 against the spread in their last 5 road games and 2-5 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. The Liberty are 2-9 against the spread in their last 11 Sunday games and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. The over is 4-1 in Fever last 5 road games. The under is 7-3 in Liberty last 10 overall. The Fever are 8-2 against the spread in the last 10 meetings in New York. The Indiana Fever were able to hang around in their opener, but they lacked scoring depth outside of Mitchell and Boston, and that could be an issue that takes time to figure out. The New York Liberty has to be disappointed in their opener, and they also have to be thrilled for their season opener. With the star power in place for the Liberty and the expectations, expect a packed Barclays Center. A comfortable Liberty win wouldn't be surprising, so the New York Liberty to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Indiana comes into this game after finishing with a mark of 5-31 last season. They had an average of 78 points per game while connecting on 40.9% from the floor. The Fever connected on 33.8% on three-point attempts and 74.6% from the charity stripe. As a squad, Indiana pulled in 33.3 boards per contest and accounted for 649 dimes last season, which had them ranked 11th in the WNBA in terms of passing. They turned the ball over 15.1 times per contest and as a group committed 20 personal fouls per game. Defensively, the Fever forced their opponents into 14.3 turnovers per contest while drawing 18 personal fouls. The Fever defense gave up a field goal percentage of 47.4% and they surrendered 35.8 rebounds per game as a squad. They were 12th in basketball in giving up assists to their opponents with 780 surrendered last year. They surrendered 33.9% on shots from distance and they ranked 12th in the league in opponents' points per game. New York had a record of 16-20 last year. As an offense, the Liberty hit 43.1% from the floor, which had them ranked 9th in the WNBA. New York scored 2,866 points last season and they collected 34.3 rebounds per contest. Their rate of dishing out assists was at 20.7 times per contest, and they coughed up possession 14.6 times per game. The Liberty committed 18.2 fouls per game, and they connected on 82.3% from the charity stripe. The Liberty on defense were ranked 6th in the league in points given up per game with 82. They forced their opponents into 11.7 turnovers per game and allowed teams to shoot 41.8% from the floor. The New York defense allowed 33.6% on shots from beyond the perimeter, and their opposition made 82.2% of their free throw shots. They conceded 18.2 dimes and 35.7 boards per game, which was ranked 1st and 8th in those categories on the defensive end. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Chicago Sky versus Phoenix Mercury. The Chicago Sky are headed to Footprint Center on Sunday evening, where they will play the Phoenix Mercury. The Sky kicked off their season on Friday, coming up with a 77-66 victory in their first game. Collie Cooper was amazing for Chicago. She dropped 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 points in the win. Alana Smith was also crucial on Friday, pouring in 15 points on 3 of 3 shooting from three-point range. Coming into the 2023 WNBA season, the Chicago Sky were ranked as the 7th best team in the league. Last year, they had an amazing record of 26-10. After entering last year's postseason as the #1 seed in the East, the Sky were eliminated by the Connecticut Sun in the semifinals. The Phoenix Mercury are back in Arizona on Sunday, where they are taking on the Sky in their home opener. The Mercury kicked off their season with a disappointing 94-71 loss to the Los Angeles Sparks on Saturday. Mercury center Brittany Griner had an excellent return from her long absence from the WNBA. She ended the night with 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 blocks. The Mercury were ranked as the 9th best team heading into the 2023 WNBA season. Last year, the Mercury ended the season with a 15-21 record, placing them as the #1 seed in the West. 10-time All-Star and former MVP Diana Taurasi is entering her 19th season in the WNBA. Last season, she still averaged 15 points and 5 assists per game. The Sky are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 road games and 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 versus Western Conference. The Mercury are 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 Sunday games and 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. The under is 7-1 in Sky last 8 overall. The under is 7-1 in Mercury last 9 Sunday games. The Sky are 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 meetings. The Chicago Sky are looking to make it 2 straight to start their 2023 season after a win against the Lynx on Friday. The Phoenix Mercury are anticipating a huge atmosphere in their home opener on Sunday, greatly due to the return of Brittany Griner. The Chicago Sky looked good in their opener, but the jury is still out on what type of team they're going to be with a lot of roster turnover. The Phoenix Mercury are better than what they showed in their season opener, and you know the place is going to be packed welcoming Brittany Griner back. Expect the Mercury to come out aggressive and really strive to get the win for Griner at home. I expect the Mercury to bounce back, so the Phoenix Mercury to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Chicago enters this matchup after finishing with a record of 26-10 last year. The Sky connected on 34.5% on three-point shots and 82.3% from the free throw line. They had an average of 86 points per contest while going 48.1% from the field. They lost possession by turning the ball over 13.8 times per game and as a squad committed 16.2 fouls per game. As a squad, Chicago pulled in 34.8 rebounds per contest and earned 874 assists last season, which was first in the league in terms of passing the rock. On the defensive end, the Sky were able to force 13.1 turnovers per contest while drawing 16.5 fouls. They surrendered 34% on three-point attempts while they were 4th in the league in points per game allowed. The Sky defensively gave up an opponent field goal percentage of 43.8% and they conceded 33.2 rebounds per game as a unit. They were 8th in the league in giving up assists with 751 conceded last season. Phoenix had a win-loss record of 15-21 last season. The Mercury committed 19.8 fouls per game and they hit 81.7% from the charity stripe. They earned an assist 19.2 times per game and they coughed up possession 13.3 times per contest. Phoenix had 2,920 points last year and they snagged 31.2 rebounds per game. As an offense, the Mercury connected on 42.9% from the field, which had them ranked 10th in the WNBA. The Mercury were ranked 10th in basketball in points allowed per game with 84.1. They forced 14.2 turnovers per game and let teams shoot 44.1% from the floor. The Phoenix defense conceded 36.6% on three-point shots and their opposition knocked down 78.5% of their free throw shots. They relinquished 20.6 assists and 37.2 rebounds on a nightly basis, which was ranked 6th and 12th in those defensive categories. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.